just... Oh. Okay. Turns out I'm already live. Insert ads. I'm running during a live stream. Why would I want to do that? Okay. Well, apparently I'm already live. Normally you also need to go live on YouTube itself, but apparently not today for some reason. So let me get everything set up, because I thought I had more time. Obviously I don't have the chat here, so I use the pop-out one, and then I need to make this bigger. There should be an announcement in Discord as well. Do I need to check? So no announcement in Discord. I'm gonna throw my stream in Discord. Hello everybody, hello Malogify. How are you doing? Hope everything is okay with the PC. Yes, yes it is. Where do I get my link again? To this stream. Wait, sorry, it's a bit confusing today. Starting off a bit confusing. I need to go here and then get shareable link. Okay, so let me get everything in order. Here we are. Greedo, how are you doing? Thank you for asking. I'm doing very well. It's a little bit confusing to get everything running. It just kind of went live. Normally you have to go live through the OBS, the software that I use to stream, and then through YouTube as well. You have to like confirm going live. But for some reason it was already going. Normally I like go live through OBS, test everything out, and then I go like to the actual live stream. But for some reason it didn't do that today. It just went live. But that's okay. I have a beer, I have my project open, and that's everything I need. So let's do some production. And for this one, what I want to do is I want to focus a little bit to start off on replacing some of these elements, because I made some elements here that I didn't really like. I need to hear what this one sounds like again. Or does this not have anything yet? Ah, okay, so this wasn't playing. Which means if I just add some notes we can hear. I think this is like... Oh, so this is just empty, like a new patch. Okay. I got all of my tone packs back, so I could just do something like this. Get like a little nice tone out of it. I'm going to add a little bit of randomness to it, but not too much. So it stays like random within this area, but you can hear it makes like a small difference. I don't know if YouTube compression will actually make that audible, but for me it's audible that there's like a difference in there. With a little bit of asymmetrical distortion on there. That's fairly strong. Let's go like that. I'll throw on a lux to get some more saturation in there. Nice. Let's see if I want a little bit of high end in there, a little bit of air. Subtle but audible for sure. Okay. Yeah. So the idea is tone, saw wave, this adds a bit of randomness to it, makes every hit a little bit different. That's the idea. Okay, I want to wash the sound out a little bit, so I'm going to go with very subtle chorus. I like my choruses very short and a very low rate. Something like that, kind of puts it a little bit more in the space as well. Can get some niveau filter on here to maybe boost. Let's check the spectrum before I do that. Why is this so small? I need to make some space for my beer. Okay, so I want to remove some of this, which I can do with the niveau filter, I think. Right, I can go down as well. In theory. So if I just set this to 1K. Okay. I'll remove the low end, which you don't need. Basically, like so. Okay, now we can mix it in. Just to see if this works within the track. Like -18. It's maybe a little bit too strong of a distortion. What if we just tone that back? And we'll have to get some high end the other way. Like this. Still not what I'm looking for. Maybe a different tone. Let's give it a little bit of pluck with a little pitch click at the start. Nice streaming background. Thanks. Glad you like it. Yeah, I installed a new background. Also, slight change to the camera angle. It's going to be more for videos because I move my camera for the videos a lot more that way. It's a different camera. But yeah, it's everything looks a lot nicer this way. My lighting is completely different. Not only is there like a background cloth here, but there's also some like orange cloth in the foreground, which means that on this camera I look a lot more orange, but on the other camera I look a lot better. So for the videos it's going to be much easier for me. It should look a lot nicer. Thank you. Well, I'm happy that it's looking so good right now for this one as well. Because obviously I did all of the lighting and everything else on the other camera, which is a lot less orange. So to me, on my own screen, I look very orange. Yeah. Okay. We're still lacking some of that crisp here. I can use an overdrive for this. Throw that right here. Something like that. Oranje boven, yes! Very much. I wasn't going to go for like delay reverb, which is like the standard thing here, but let's just see what happens if we do. It feels... Feels a little bit staccato, right? I would like them to be like continuous almost. Something like that. I just have to see if this actually works for the sound that we're going for. It is fairly hard getting the sounds that I want in here. I was looking to do some like atmospheric stuff, so I made this. Which sounds cool on its own, but in the track it doesn't really work. I'm also not a fan of the sound that we just made. Why not also more FM leads? We could do some FM stuff, or just in general like more traditional psychedelic leads, maybe. We could try something like that. I do like the kind of progressive thing that I've set up with this. This gives me a very progressive, like Astrix vibe. And that's kind of what I'm going for with this part as well. That's why we have the not so aggressive like acid lead. This is not like a very aggressive lead, so I don't want to stack it with like even something like this, which is kind of like a psychedelic, kind of traditional aggressive lead, right? It doesn't really fit for me. So that's why I gravitated towards like the more atmospheric kind of stuff. But that's also not, at least not with this particular sound, isn't working out for me as well. The only sound that I like is this one, which is like a plucky thing. Again, also not very aggressive. I also had this FM thing in here, but let's be real, that's not going to work here. It's like a bass house thing. I also want to do like separate parts, right? So we already have some of these things. I think it would be cheap to just copy that over. Very nice indeed, that plucky thing. Thank you. Yeah, so that's what I'm going for. More of like a calmer style of psytrance here. More, think Astrix, Kalki, artists like that. I could do the piano thing. Or did I do that before already? I think this might be it.
Hallucinating.
Can maybe copy this over here. There's a lot of bikers outside. There's nothing I can do about that, sorry. Let's see if we place that there. It's a bit too loud, but I think it does work as an element. I want maybe like an atmosphere pad in here. Somewhere around this area. We could use maybe Omnisphere, just browse a few presets. Is always fun. You can just open it up and then go like this. See if that works, and then just go to the next and the next until you find something that works. Let's see if we sound match this. How many presets come with Omnisphere? About 50 gigabytes of patches and individual samples. So there's all of this, which are the samples, and then there is all of this, which are the presets. It's like thousands and thousands. Too much to ever check out. Yes, 50 gigabytes. I have the DVD back at my parents' place. They send it to you in a big box and stuff. A little bit too eerie for what I'm going for. Let's sound match it again. Love the sound match feature. Yes, that's amazing. It's the best thing because you can get to an idea even though you're not like quite there. It still allows you to get closer and closer to the idea. So for all of these presets, I'm just going to select the one that I think sounds the most like the one that I want, and then I sound match it again. So I'm just looking for like more of a simple pad, I would say. They all have a little bit of an eerie feeling. You can also see it from the names. Right, this would be not out of place in a horror movie, and that's not what I am looking for. See what happens if we go a bit further away. Do they have categories? Yes. The attributes here you can select from, and you can go type, you can go by genre, complexity, a whole bunch of different things. But I like to just do it via sound match. I think that's the best way to. Okay, that's not what I want. Okay, so this could be something that we can use, but I want to edit it. So what I like to do going out of Omnisphere is very heavy, right? CPU intense. So I like to record everything that I take out of Omnisphere. Let's actually go an octave lower. And I'm going to take the reverb tail as well. And what I'm probably going to do is like take one beat. This is a cool trick, by the way. There's something that I kind of found on accident. If you want a sound like this, record it an octave higher than that you want, and then unwarp it and turn it down an octave. You get double the length in like reverb, right? So this reverb tail will be now double the length because we're pitching it down. This is 2, yes. Omnisphere 2 has more effects, has more things, but the main thing is that the browser is on the side here. So that's the cool thing about it. Right, the Omnisphere 1, I believe, was like just this area. And now with 2, the browser on the side really helps. And you also have like the extended browser like this. Out of this. We can even pitch it back up with something like Little Altar Boy. Let's see if we do it 2 times. Not really what I'm looking for. Maybe with a bit of extra, like, high-end reverb, we get some sparkle out of it. It's not really giving me the sound that I wanted. It still has like a grittiness to it. That's not what I want. So what if we do... We just have to ignore the cars that are outside. What if I take this and just make it 100% reverb? It's still the same grittiness. What if I just don't turn it down an octave? It's not really what I'm looking for, I think. So fucking annoying. It's because I live next to a major road, like right next to it. I'm on the first floor, and the cars are like right outside here. There's nothing in between me, like my room, and the road. So they just literally pass underneath my window. Maybe like this, and then we pitch it up. We put this back in and then just go for like a high. Or we do the same thing again, and we use like 3, like a chord like this. So we would go like we did before. Take this, reverse it, and then do like that. And this is 2 octaves up. So we would get maybe if we do one and we can layer that on top of the other. So we have to create a secondary audio track. Or maybe like fade this in a little bit later. And let's then put the processing on all of these guys here, I think. Turn this back to 0 and then we set the group to -13. Otherwise, obviously, this one is going to be a lot louder. Maybe this is what I'm looking for. Let's going to be very loud, so I'm going to like -20. Kind of. I think a bit of extra EQ work will fit it in nicely. It feels a little bit resonant. Too resonant for me. Yeah, something like that. Oh, that's the text-to-speech thing that we recorded. If I could record the bikers and then turn that into a sound, I would. But with the way that I've Ableton set up, I would also record the output. So I have this big audio thing here, which is doing all of my audio setup. I'd need to change things around, and I wasn't fast enough to actually do that. I've tried it before as well, but it's not like you're getting a good sound out of it. So towards the end here, we need more stuff. We can delete these three to avoid any confusion here. But you can see up until like even this one. And text-to-speech one as well. We can kind of see where we have all of the elements right now, which they lean very heavily towards the start here. Maybe what I should do is put all of this stuff behind it, right? So I go like this, and then we'll do the same for the piano, which I'm thinking of turning down a bit more still. This is my empty track. I can remove that. I think this might also be an empty track. Yes. It's the only annoyance about this darker theme is that I cannot see which of these are MIDI tracks and which are audio tracks. Maybe that works. Okay, so then this would be like the outro, right? Which means that we have 4 sections of drop right here, which means that I can go for a longer first drop because this is the breakdown. I actually started with the breakdown on this project, so that's not the intro. So let's place this somewhere that makes sense. Seeing as we have like 3 minutes, I can go to like, I'd say maybe 4.5-ish. Let's see if we place it here. Then we get to around 8 minutes, which is usually the length that I'm aiming for. Let's quickly throw down the marker track here. 1, 2, 3. I'm just quickly going to make it like this and then color them and place the fills in between. This is just an indication that I use to show me the structure of my project, which is very useful. Love that mind controlled into the outro. I think it would be cool to do like sound design, or not so much sound design, but to take like a songwriting approach to this and just have that mind controlled only here at the end. So this would then be the outro, right? And then we go outro fill and then the fade out, however long that may be, depending on the elements that we're going to put in here. The idea would then be that we create a track in such a way that like throughout the track I'm going to like have vocals and maybe other sounds that in some way relate back to the theme, which is like virtual reality and this mind control thing. And then I'm like building up the idea of controlling somebody's mind through the music. Maybe that's something that I can do, maybe not. I do have a very long break, actually, now that I look at it. That's maybe an issue. For a break, this is fairly long, I would say. Okay, but we should be able to... Actually, this is... let's go like that. Yeah, so kick and bass would go up until this point. Track slows down significantly here, right? So we can basically build the structure backwards. And we can just copy over like segments like this. Can go boom. Maybe I want something like that. Maybe I want another long section of drop right there. So that's basically 4 sections, if you think about it, because this one counts double, right? This would be in total 5 sections of 16 bars, which is how I count. Then we are at still over 2 minutes. So maybe if I go like this, how many sections can I put before it? 1, 2, 3, and then we're around 1 minute. I'm kind of looking at how I would do this. Like if we put a build up here, that's really not long enough to call this 2 separate sections. But I'm scared that if I put this together, we're either starting very late with the drop at 1 minute 20, right? Which I don't like. I'd like to start earlier with the drop. But if I do that, if I put another section before it, then maybe the drop is too long. Because then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sections. What I could do is turn this into a build-up-ish, break-ish part. And then we would maybe consider that 2 drops, but then it would be like lopsided. Right, because this is 3 and then this is 4. I'd rather have this be 3 and then this 4, because this is the first drop. So then I would do something like this. I'm going to switch around the lengths of the fills all day. They're all 2-bar fills right now, but we're going to mess with this. Maybe something like this will work. Essentially, this is not quite a breakdown. It's like a build-up thing. But seeing as it's 16 bars, we're probably going to spend the first 8 bars toning down the energy and then building up here. Or I could make a long fill, like a 4-bar fill here. That means that this one would be a short one probably. Here we're toning down the energy level. So this transition in terms of energy shouldn't be much. This will be a big transition because this will be high energy. Hello, Jim. Thank you. Good work, thank you. Okay, so then this would again be a short break as well as this one. It might be helpful for me to actually lay out the energy then. Essentially, energy level, what I'm thinking is going up like this, having a slight upper there, and then here we go down by a lot again. Right, so that's how I look at my fills in terms of length. A 1-bar fill is where the energy doesn't really change. The parts where the energy does change tends to be longer. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to build up a lot of energy and then go all the way down. And then I'm not sure if I want to do it like this or if I want to move this one ahead of there. Because then it makes more sense with the fill lengths and stuff that we have set up right now. We can spend this time again going up in energy level, and here we're just staying, or like going down like this, and then this is like low energy, right? So this is like a breakdown. That again, 2-bar fill makes sense. And seeing as we already have this like joint drop section, I think we can do it again here. That just makes my life a lot easier, I'd say. Because then I can just like put one kick and bass in here and call it a day. I don't have to worry about, like, it gives me one less fill to worry about basically. So let's build that out. Copy of the kick and bass. I'm gonna do, what does the yellowish part mean? You mean this part? Which for me is orange. Maybe it is yellow for you. I mean, the only yellowish part that I see on my OBS is my shirt, myself. The yellowish part in terms of the structure right here, or for me the orange part here, is, no, the one later. This one? Or this one? This for me is green, right? Even on my OBS. This is the break, if you're asking this bit. This is the breakdown, right? So here we have the final drop. This is the breakdown from before that we did on the last stream. I thought you were there, right? This is already filled in. It's a break, yes. So this is the break we did on the last stream, last week. This is the track from the video as well, by the way, the vocal video. Not this part. I don't play this part in that vocal video. The one that I posted today, by the way. Unless you're on Patreon, then I posted it yesterday.
Now, simulation theory.
This is from the vocal
the idea
thing,
that
right?
we
If you have
are
seen the vocal
living
video
in a
from this
simulation,
morning,
that the world that we
then you'll
live in
recognize this
is not
bit.
the real.
So that's the break here. I don't want these. I don't need that. Let's lay out this structure. I'm doing this a little bit differently. Normally I don't like to just throw my structure down like this. But I want to experiment a little bit with doing it this way. I can just delete these. Here I want to copy over this. I want to experiment with doing arrangement first, basically. I'm thinking of having my kick and base in here. So I can zero these out. Except this one. Delete this. Actually delete them. Hello Alex, how are you doing? So we'll like high pass and low pass the kick and base here. Let's throw the low pass down. And then let's have that go up. And we'll have the high pass go up as well. Something like this maybe. Obviously also on the baseline. We want our high pass on a track and then our low pass above it. Oh, I need to set these back to where they go. And then this can go like so. I'm glad everybody could make it today. There's a lot of regulars in the chat today. It's nice to see. And then again, it is Sunday, so I guess everybody's free of work, maybe? I'd like to open up the low pass a bit more, I guess. Really get some high end out of it. While we're here, I should probably record this so I can see if I want to make adjustments to the levels, because I do want this kick and base to be significantly quieter, seeing as we're using this build up also kind of as like a mini breakdown, right? By the way, how are the volumes? For like you guys. For some reason my microphone and this thing is coming through a different channel on my OBS. It's not meant to be, but I think it should be okay. Okay, so apart from the like peak level, I think overall that this is quite good. We could go down a few dB on this section, I would say. Maybe like here we go to like -4, but this we would go to -6 maybe, something like this. My background is very nice. I'm glad you enjoyed that. I had many compliments on the background and I'm glad everybody likes what I've done with it. It saves me the trouble of having to clean my room every time I want to live stream or record. So that's also very nice. Okay. We can build this out a bit more. Yeah, so now it's clearly like quieter, right? Perfect on your end. Nice. I guess I can just copy over kick, bass, and percussions here. I'll probably not have a build up here, seeing as we're going down in energy a lot. Doesn't really make sense. Well, maybe. I'll just leave that disabled. Yeah, okay. So that's looking good in terms of like waveform. I always like to check what my kick and bass is actually doing in terms of volume, because that's where you obviously build all of the other elements around, right? They may have won a football game quite recently here in Cremona, because everybody is using the horn while driving. And it's either because there's an accident or because they've won a football game. Okay, let's see what we do with our drums. I guess these ones are okay to go. Yeah, these are just like closed hi-hats. So these are okay to go in the second drop here. Then we're going to I guess I'm going from nothing to full here. That doesn't really make sense. So what if I do this? I guess for this bit I'd like the snare to be a bit shorter. Let's throw on the dynamics to see if I can just like get rid of the later portions a bit. So very long release I'd go for. We're basically targeting the second doesn't allow me to zoom in either. I hope you see what I mean with that second target. I'm trying to catch it. Here, this second bit, I basically want to remove this and have this shape like go down gradually. So I'm going for, I can't see how much this is in attack, right? I don't think so. Either way, I can set up a compressor to target that space. Okay, so this then would be it would be only on here, is the idea. I might go for more gain reduction actually. Give it a little bit longer attack. Overall, I would also turn down output by like 2 dB, because here with the extra high end from the offbeat like open hat, it sounds good. I think the snare's a bit too loud, yeah. That's why I turned it down here for this one. I don't think it's particularly too quiet on this bit. Right, this doesn't bother me too much. And looking at my like gain setup, it should be okay. It's at -14, the snare. Right? Do I need to put the clipper after the dynamics though, is the question. Okay, so here we have a gain reduction of about 4 dB. If I put it before it, it's going to be more. Yes. You see, if I don't do it, if I do it the other way around, it's going to basically ignore the clipper completely. Okay, so that's set. I think I might do, just to mix things up, one break here, like one beat break. Something like that. And then the only thing we have to do is put in the drums right here. So I'm actually just going to like copy this over, I think. Have the same drums in here, but then have this turned off. And here we need to make it longer. I don't think I have any automations anywhere here except this dynamics, which doesn't change. So that's okay to copy over. And the gain reduction does not need to be here because we're not going to do a build up there. Okay, which means that now we have a drop that we can work with. And what I would like to do is make a main element for somewhere here. I want some kind of fill element, and then I want something probably here as our main lead. And that's what I want to start with, because then I can put all of the other one-shots and different things that we're going to use against that, basically. Maybe some like background sequences as well. But this is going to be like my attempt at like a very Asterix-esque kind of track, which to me, the thing that stands out of Asterix, which I also said in the last live stream, and which I'll probably do or cover in the video as well once this track is finished, is that there's very strong main elements, and then he builds his one shot around those. And he never seems to use more than one main element. Like normally in Psytrance, it's tradition to have your first FM lead, and then that goes out, and then you have your second one like crossing in, or you have like background squelches, or you have like the bandpass plugs in the background. All of this kind of multiple elements forming one lead. And Asterix I see very much not doing that. So that's what I want to emulate for this track. Or that's the idea. And of course he will layer things and stuff like that, but it's generally speaking, there's like one main element to the track. I'm getting a lot of messages. Maybe I do quickly need to look what's going on here. Just give me 2 seconds. This is not important. Okay. So let's see if we can make like a main lead, something like that. I want like a saw wave, the hyper one, which sounds a little bit nicer. Let's see what happens if we just do like a high pass. Where can I get very goth, progressive, psychedelic vocals? Where can you find progressive or any vocals? You're going to find them on YouTube, old movies, old speeches, old television recordings tend to work. The problem with vocals is that people don't want to put in the work. They want to download the sample pack and just drag and drop, which I'm working on that. Once the album is out, you'll get all of the vocals from the album and some more in a sample pack, which you can just drag and drop. But if you just want vocals drag and drop, you're going to sound like everybody else, because everybody else is also dragging and dropping in those vocals. If you want something unique, which in Psytrance is really what sets you apart, is like finding unique vocals, then you need to spend time finding unique vocals, right? So you need to go to the dark corners of the internet, and like, for me, finding a vocal for a track like this one here, this vocal took me an hour to find. Most people, when they're producing, don't want to put in an hour to find vocals.
Simulation theory is the idea that we are living in a simulation.
And I would say even this vocal isn't great. Like, it says simulation twice, right? Which is kind of strange. Simulation theory is the idea that we live in a simulation. Yeah, of course. Everybody knows. So even still, there's things that I don't like about this vocal, but for this part of the track it works. The thing that I want you to know is that it takes a long time to find good vocals. I cannot tell you exactly where you're going to find good vocals because there is no one way to find good vocals. You can find stuff on Splice, you can find different loops, you can download the Kashmir pack and play with the vocals that are in there. But you're going to sound like everybody because everybody is downloading the Kashmir pack, opening up the ethnic stuff, and going, okay, Indian vocals, melody loops, I want a female melody loop in my Psytrance track, let's see.
Ooh na 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 na. Ooh na 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 na. Ooh na 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 na.
Like you can use that. This is Frisian, very Psytrance-like. You can use that, but everybody is going to use that. So it might be a good vocal for now, but at some point it's going to be like overdone, right? Just like the vocal from like Great Spirit by Vici Vini. So you know how when you first heard like the Great Spirit, like the Aaron van Buuren Vini Vici track, that vocal sounded very cool. But that track, and to some extent Deep Jungle Walk as well for me, although the track itself holds a special place in my heart, so that's different. But the vocal, like if I heard another track with that same vocal, this one, the vocals, ethnic, tribal vocals, I should go to the loops, right? I think in here somewhere. This one. This pitched up to a little bit. Like if I were to use this in this track, everybody would just say, okay, you stole that from Asterix. And rightfully so, because this is the vocal everybody associates with Deep Jungle Walk by Asterix. Right? Like if we place it like this. This is a loop from, obviously, this loop. Okay, little bit of drama here. Kashmir is known for not making all of his samples. So what I think happened here is either he took it from the track directly, which I think is fairly hard because there's other stuff in there. But what I think happened is that they both sampled the same thing, and that might be like an old movie. I believe I read somewhere that the original vocal comes from a movie that's like a 70s movie about tribal stuff, right? So about a tribe, and at some scene they're like singing this chant, and that ended up becoming both the vocal in Deep Jungle Walk as well as this loop, right? But yeah, if I were to use this in a track, it's a good vocal, it's a usable vocal, but if I were to use this in a track, I would immediately, within the Psytrance community, everybody would say, you just stole from Asterix. Which I totally get. That's the Asterix vocal. We all associate that with a track. So the problem with vocals is finding something that has never been used before. Another thing that you can do is spend a couple $100 on Fiverr and have 5-6 voice actors give you a whole bunch of different vocals. Which is what I did for the album, because I wanted all of the vocals to relate to the same thing, and I didn't want to spend the hours and hours of time it would take to actually get vocals from all different places. So I just wrote down what I wanted the voice actor to say. It's a little bit... The cool thing about Psytrance vocals is that they sometimes give you new ideas. When you're writing for yourself, you need to know what you want to say, right? And at that point, sometimes it's hard to find the right words and say it in the right way. Whereas if you're looking for vocals, the cool thing is stumbling on the vocal and then using it in the track, right? Not so much finding the text that you wanted to say, but just stumbling across something kind of random that you weren't thinking about and then using that. Either way, let's continue. I wanted to make a main lead. Oh. So the idea is going to be like high passing this sound into distortion maybe. At this point I'm just experimenting. So I guess we can create our own asymmetrical shape. Let's go for like a zero clip kind of distortion here. Of course, seeing as we're asymmetric, we can do something with that asymmetry and actually make use of it to get ourselves some nice saw harmonics to just get a warmer sound. So that's why I'm adding the extra point down below. If you need an explanation on this graph, let me know, I'll tell you. Let's see what we're getting for kind of distortion here then. It's actually not as strong as I expected. I guess I could push this up here and then boost this a bit more. Is that going to be different enough? Is my question. I guess we could make the cutoff higher. Let's think of a melody that we can do with this. I'm just kind of going for the rhythm here. Guessing like short notes. Okay, we can have a little pause in here. Might go for like a 2-bar loop. Maybe if I can avoid it, if I can stay within 1 bars and make something cool, then I'll always go for that. That's not really. Hey dude, I don't have much time to stay, but I want to say thank you for all of the help. Thank you. Thank you very much. Nice to see that it's useful. I guess with the rhythm that we set up here, we expect a note to be here. We can maybe... But I don't want to give that expectation. So what if we do... maybe something like this. Try to mute the second note. This one. Yeah, then obviously without this. That kind of works. Maybe if we do keep it like this. That actually works really well. Okay, so what I want to do is make this longer. And now that we have a basic rhythm, I want to make it a bit more interesting by changing some of the notes around melodically. stay in Frisian here. Let's see what happens if we just do it like this. I guess we can go down here. And then up again. Kind of repeating the same thing. That sounds kind of cool. I think if we play with that, then we can get some cool sounds out of that. Let's get rid of all of the low frequencies in there. Try with a fat 303. It is kind of like a 303 what we're doing here. Instead of the low pass, we're just using a high pass. So a 303 would obviously be like this, and then a slight envelope. Obviously you would make that better. But I like the high pass thing because it kind of squeezes it and always gives us a nice present high end. I usually have problems with my acid leads. Also, we already have an acid lead in this track later on, so it's not that we're missing any 303s. But my problem with acid leads is that I'm struggling when I'm closing it and when I'm opening it to keep a balance between like the high end. And it feels to me like sometimes I lose my 303 in the mix then, right? So with a high pass filter, that never happens, because it's always the same high end. Okay. We'll have to write out some automation here. What I could do is just randomize it, which I don't like, but it's easier. You go like this. Oh, I want this to be smooth. And oh, wait. Cool idea. In the audio effects, I have... Isn't there a sum here? Or mixer? Is the multimult the one that I want? Input 1, output... No, I want it the other way around. So then it's values. No. Combiner. That's the one that I want. I have all of these MIDI devices. I made a video on this. All of these MIDI devices, which allows you to do like combined stuff like this. So I would map this macro to this one, right? Okay, let's set this to an influence of 30. I'm going to set this to minimum and maximum of 30. So now I can set this to be our fast modulation here. This is making the fast changes, right? So if I map this to the macro, we get some fast changes out of that. Let's now throw on a second LFO, which is going to do our overall slow modulation. Again, it's going to be random and it's going to be smooth. So it's going to change like this, and we'll map this to the second one. This is going from 0 to 70. Let's actually go with 35 on this one. And then we'll do a final LFO, which is going to go down and up, timed over 8. So this is again going to go to 35. So these three together go to 100%. So if we combine them all three together, I believe they should be able to go all the way up, which it does look like it can do. So theoretically, if I go here, oh wait, no, I'm looking for the phase. I want the phase of 180. What do you mean phase in percentage? What does that... Okay, so that's what I want. I want it to start high and then go down. And we can just mix and match these percentages. I can set this to 25 and then have this more influential over the overall modulation that we're applying. So this is very cool. It's a cool way to combine modulations. Maybe another cool thing that we can do is set these amounts depending on this thing here, I believe. Let's see if this is possible. If we map this... No, okay, so that doesn't work. What if... we map this to this one and this one? So this goes from -5, okay, so this goes to 50, 60, 60, no, 50, and then 60. What this should do is give them each multipliers. Maybe we need to go from 55 to 65 and 65. It goes from a multiplier of 0.5 to 1.5. Which like changes the influence of the each modulators over time, right? Changes how much each of the modulations affects the overall output modulation that we're creating. I kind of want to see the shape of it going up and down over time, which we're getting there, right? You can see it going down now, and it should be going back up to this part here in a little bit. Right, you can see it going up again. In theory, if we want to see exactly what it's doing, we can throw in the scope wide and just input this here. This gives us an idea of all of the signals in play. As you can see kind of the modulation that we're applying to the sound here. What might also be cool is to make slight changes to the rate here. So let's map this to the rate. I want this to maybe go from like 14 to 19, and then this will be, maybe that's a little bit too low. 22 to 30. I want this to be like between 1-ish and 3 maybe. Okay, so the 32 can go up a little bit and this can go to 28. Let's try like this. And then we'll map this to there as well and have this like start at 50 to 60 maybe. So it goes between like maybe even a little bit faster. We're changing the modulation speed as the modulation goes higher as well, which I think is pretty cool. I guess the final thing that I would like to do is combine this with an overall amount. So we would need another combiner. And then I want a fader, which is just like an up and down, and which I can map to the input. Wait, we don't need a multiplier. We can map this to the maximum. From there, what I want is a multi-multi, right? So we send this to the input. We take this, map it to our macro, and we map U to this input. And then if we turn it up, shouldn't that give me higher values here? Oh, I need to set this to 1, of course. Might join again later. We'll see you later then. Hopefully you can, yeah. For some reason our input is scaled now. Ah, because the max goes to 255. Okay. Right now this is at 0.39. Okay, so then we map this to the max. Okay, so we're basically going to 99 instead of 100. But that should mean that our modulation is again doing the same thing here. Now the cool thing is that we just have like an amount control. We can go to like 50%, right? And then it will stay in the lower 50% here. So we could like have this start at 50. And then just have that go up. What I'll probably do is add some interest to this part by just like I'm thinking of doing like very subtle delay and then just having it go up here and doing the same with the reverb and even maybe with the release of the original patch. Let's actually get a nicer reverb. The reverb that I've been enjoying lately is the Convolution Pro, and then especially in Real Places, this Chapel one. Although it's very big for this one, so I'm going to like 20%. I'd like this to be wider. Let's group this together. Again, I'm just too late to set up the microphone and everything to sample that passing by motorbike. I don't know if you heard that one. It was not that loud. Not all of them get picked up by the microphone. Okay, let's put you below. And go like -9 for the reverb. Okay. So let's EQ the reverb a little bit. Want to get rid of all of that low bit. I don't like that this one doesn't have filters here. Or at least not in a traditional way, not that I can find. So 303 lead needs to be a bit louder. Yeah, this is not the final mix. It's not finished processing, so. Probably want to add some more high end to that. For now, I want the reverb to be more stereo. I feel like it's fairly mono. Let's have a listen to it though. Right, it's the reverb to me is sitting like in the middle of my face while wearing headphones, which is not what I want. For one, I would like to maybe gate it for a start. I think that might be a cool. The idea was that I would be able to gate it maybe a bit nicer, but that doesn't seem to work. Okay, so now let's go to the main thing that I wanted to do, which was stereo width. I'm just going to stereo spread it a little bit. Okay, so now we have a nice wide reverb, which is what I want. Okay, so I'm going to go for some saturation here. I'm actually going to do this parallelly to the reverb. Oh, we should have our delay after that. Okay. So, I'm actually going to close all of this out. That sounds nice. I'll have the saturation for the final clipping. I will add a lux for a little bit of extra grit, and then I'll have to see how we're doing in terms of high end. I think we're pretty okay. Maybe some Lufticus on there. I'm boosting 40k. We're not interested in 40k itself. What we're interested in is the downward shape of the shelf, right? So this emulation of this EQ does particular shelf that even though it's at 40k still affects the very high frequencies like 10k and above. So you get a very nice, very cool sound out of it. That's obviously exaggerated, but like around 5. I do like the really strong grit that this EQ brings to a sound. So right now the sound itself is a bit loud. I would say maybe like that. And then for the break here, we're going to go into more like reverb. We'll probably go into more reverb towards the end here as well. Or what I'll do is the H delay reverb or the H reverb long stereo is also a reverb that I really like. What I'll maybe do is have this go up like this and kind of create like kind of a reverbed delay tail out of this. So we go up with the feedback. And then we can dry wet up all the way. I guess we could go to 100% feedback. How am I going to do this? Going to turn off this filter, I guess. Which also means that I'm going to turn this a little bit lower. I really want this delay to be a background delay, right? So let's put all of these to 10. I want this to be a background delay. It only should really come in here. So I'm going to have this curve in a lot later. We'll do some more with this stuff here towards the end. But that means that I can shape the delay tail here with this filter. So I can still like filter it out. Maybe do something like this. Right now the loudness is all over the place. I was going to record that bit maybe. But I'll do that later because there's some other things that I want to do. We're not using any of the envelopes, which is good. I can give this that bit of release. Probably do like this. And let's give this a volume dip as well, but not like a little bit delayed, right? A little later. That sounds pretty cool, and we'll put that together with like almost like a DJ filter style thing. Probably like this. Maybe have the filter come in a little bit earlier like this. I'm not quite sure. There seems to be something off to me towards for this fill. Like there's some reverb coming through. Or is that just me? What happens if I turn this all the way down? That seems to do the trick, but now it feels too disjointed maybe. So let's go up, see if that works. Doesn't quite freewheel right, but I'll mess with that later. For now we have one main element that we can use to create one-shots against. I want to do a second one here, which is going to, of course, be different. What I'm thinking of doing for this one is to do something kind of like the classic bandpass plugs, but more complex. So what we could do is take that idea that we did in that tutorial with the 4 notes to trigger one sound thing. Have this make its output to 68. This one is looking for inputs. And let's go G sharp. Let's play a few notes. Let's put you down. This should be, yes, getting an input. And we use the velocity to modulate a filter, a bandpass filter, which is at very high in terms of slope. Okay, now we go into the media effects and we can random all, not here, but here. Now this is fairly cool, but the cool thing about the way I'm doing it is if I duplicate this, we get 2 of them. Let's set U to poly. Let's give this enough nodes. I want this to be able to accept whatever amount of nodes that I want. Okay. And we should see 2 peaks now every time we play. Right? We can double this to 4 to get an even more complex one. Now we get 4 of them, which is essentially at this point like almost like a random phaser. Now the cool thing is we can do some like intermediary modulation here. So how did I do this? There was a way for me to detect each individual node separately and apply different effects to them, which I did in the original tutorial. Maybe if I open up the original project, I can find it. This node, I think I called it multi-node sound design project. There we are. Let's just drop in the whole thing. We'll drop it in here. Let me see, what did I do? Okay, so this is pitch tracking, which is interesting. I think the way this works is okay. Note am I playing? I'm playing an A sharp here. Can I play? These are all playing the same pitch as well, right? Yeah. And they're playing different. Okay, that's strange. I don't think it matters too much. Let's remove this and then group these up This should take input, yes. Okay. Here I'm using the arpeggio. That's why. Okay. One. This is a 16 note. This is gonna be a 60 note, and this is gonna be a 60 note. And I'm just going to take G sharps from that and throw that in here. Maybe what we can do is we can even pitch them up and down. So like this one higher and this one as well. Maybe that creates cool sounds. I was hoping. There's one that doesn't seem to be doing a lot. Why is that lowest one not doing what I want Okay, so this lowest one does not seem to output anything like does not seem to output randomization, I would say. It does sound like it's this one, right? Because if I turn it off, that's kind of what I'm looking for. And then we can give it like a cool force sound, maybe. What I think would be very, very cool is if we like step sequence down for 8 bars and then back up. How long is this now, by the way? Okay, so this is 16 bars. We want it to be 32. My idea would be to go like to 0.5, but do it like step sequenced. So, no, wait, I know. We can use the sample and hold from this thing, right? So this is a trigger. What we can do is we can take a fader, have that go from 0 to 1, map that to there, and then trigger it every like 8th note. Okay, so this goes every bar. We want that every quarter note. We map that to this, and then we map this to there. So in theory, if we turn this to 0.5, it just updates every beat. Which we can see happen. And then we'll have this one turn up here towards the end. And then going into the second part, it goes into more, like a more spicy maybe? Maybe even like this. I want to switch these two around, maybe. Or maybe not at all. Let's keep that at 0. It does feel slightly attacky, like through the modulation and all the things that we're doing. Maybe if we do it like this. Let's give it a bit of sustain back. Let's actually going to push this up over time. I think that would be fairly cool. Like maybe have that be like this then. Maybe even like this. It is a fairly pretty sound, I would say. It feels like it's maybe slightly off grid. Right, it doesn't feel like it's exactly aligned to the rest of the track. Maybe that's just me. Maybe this routing is set up. No, that should be okay. Yeah. Let's just take an input from Faceplant then. Let's see if we can get that. Yeah, do you see how it's like slightly behind? I'll just record this and then Zero Mess, thank you very much. Nice to see you dropping by. I do wonder, I cannot really see my analytics right now. It does seem like a lot of people are joining in. That's nice. Okay, that's exactly what I want. I will consolidate this and then we'll see if we can turn it up to 0 dB and see what the timing issue is here. If we're able to fix that like in the synth, it would be better obviously, because then we can make more changes to it. But it does seem like you can see it's like off, right? And even if we like align this one, you're going to see that this one still has like a tag to it. So it's going to be difficult to actually make sure that that fits. Set you to like -14. That's kind of strange. I don't know why that. Maybe it's the routing, the way that this is set up just does not like what we're doing here. What other things would I do to make this sound more interesting? Because I like it, but it's getting stagnant. I guess we could switch from this to this right halfway in between. Should probably give this the right color. I'm actually going to give this part the format shift that we have. So we switch these two around because this one sounds emptier, right? So we go like this. This is like the empty bit. And this has a slightly fuller sound to it. Looking at the way this is set up, I'm probably going to turn this into like a little bit of a build-up-ish thing. So this is like that. Okay, I want a stronger transient on this. So if we add a transient shaper, Let's actually do it with LFO2 because then I'm certain that it gets all of the transients. With these weird sounds, it sometimes does not get the transient. So if we force it to be 116 and we compress the shit out of it before with like an OTT. Oh, that's going to be an issue. Now because of the delays in Echo Boy, maybe? Hello, MindBee. I obviously want this LFO2 to sync with the sound itself, right? I want this to give it the plug when the modulation changes. I think we're getting pretty decent results. Let's have a quick record on this and then we can align that properly. Let's just record that. You should have a cleaner waveform as well. Yeah, look at that. Ooh, it's almost distorting down there. Slightly pauses there and then comes back in for the second bit. Okay, I should actually record this without the delay on there, so that this is still like a dry audio. So I'm going to do this again. I like the distortion we're getting at the very lowest point there. And then it drops into a more... Hello David, how are you doing? There's a lot of different people today. Very, very nice. Maybe the background helps draw people in. Okay, exactly what I want. Let's consolidate this. You're still here. So that means that the background is working then, right? Okay, let's align you. It still does not have exactly the strongest attack here, but it is a lot better. In fact, we should be able to just transient shape it now, right? Like if I throw a transient shaper on this, there's no way it's going to miss any of these transients. Let's have a look. Might be cool to also switch this off, like right there, and then we'll throw the delay on there. And it becomes like a more glassy, more mono version of the lead, right? What we could do is have a small wooden room kind of reverb on there. To really give it that kind of glassy feeling. I'm going to boost these a bit. Maybe I should just give it a few dB of gain, because the reverb tends to turn down the volume, right? Still high volume. There's a pretty strong impact on some of these pads. This one here, mainly. Maybe that's not what we want for these sounds. All of these have the delay built in, I guess, or here. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to record this. This should now not have any delay. Perfect. Exactly what I want. What I want to do is I want to record maybe just 2 bars of this. And then use that to glide into it, right? Just to be sure, I'm going to record a lot more. But I would like just take the fill length, which is 2 bars, and like reverse into it. Let's turn you down a bit and turn the delay back on, because we don't need that. Nice. Okay, so now we have our main elements. I think I want to delete this because I'm not seeing me actually rewriting that lead. So I want to delete those 2. If it lets me. What is this thing, by the way? Oh, that's the old one. Delete. There we are. Okay, so we have our main elements. What I probably want is to get some vocals, spoken word vocals in this bit. Let me actually write this down. And the reason for that is because I think that that's a good transition into the break. And instead of just having that right here in this fill, I'm going to do that like through this whole bit, basically. Right, so I have sporadic like vocals, kind of in the same way that we have with the text-to-speech ones here, but I want different ones, is the idea. Also, so what we need to do now is one-shots. Now I've been streaming for 2 hours without taking any breaks. I can do another 2, but I do want to do a break in between. So I'm going to take a quick 5 to 10 minute break to just freshen up my ears and refresh a little bit, and then we'll work probably for the one-shots of this bit right here. We'll work on that. So I'm going to put up a track. Let's do, I want one that's long enough. I mean, the classic is this one, because it's 12 minutes long. I guess it's been a while since I've played this track, so maybe not a lot of you guys know it. This is a track that I'm working on. It's at the end of production phase. This is not the render as it is now, but I'm basically going into the mixing phase for this track here. The idea behind this track is that it's a set opener. So you can see like almost 4 minutes of intro. You would use this to open up a live set. And I really spend a lot of time working on this track, making sure that it can do that. So there's very cool stuff happening in the intro. Yeah, it's 12 minutes. Right, you can see the 11-minute mark is here. It's like 11:42, okay. But yeah, the drop only starts like at 3 minutes 45. So the actual psytrance bit is not that long. It's just that the intro is extended to almost 4 minutes. Like the pre-drop bit, right, where the kick and bass comes in and you start to build up the hype, is a lot longer than, or it is as long as, how can I say this? How I would normally make like an intro, which would be this length, right? Like that lines up nicely with what this is, same amount. But then there's a whole intro before it. So I'll play this, I'll take a quick break, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Perfect track to open an album. This is not the track for the album. I'm sorry, this is releasing a lot later. But the album also has a very nice opening track. I'll be back in a little bit. See you guys.
physics where a lot of times people ask me if I believe the Big Bang Theory. Instead of saying that I believe them, we have overwhelming evidence that the universe was once very small and very hot. That much is absolutely true.
I'm an actual DJ, guys. Okay, let's get back into this production. Can I remove these messages from chat? Yes, I can. I'll quickly do that because obviously you guys are not interested in virtual girls. Seeing as you're in chat with me, you should be able to get real girls very, very easily. Right? Just like me. Okay, let's make some one-shots. Let's see what we're, again, dealing with. This is the good bit of refreshing your ears. I completely forgot what this lead was actually like. I know it's like plucky and stuff like that. I feel like my bass is drowned out a little bit here. I don't know if that's going to be an issue. I don't think it will be. What I'm thinking of doing is like very few like actual synth one shots and maybe throw in some extra effects in here. So the way I did that in the track for the masterclass, which is what I want to do, is impact. I believe I went here and then went for, if I remember correctly, these ones here. Maybe something like this is cool if we reverse that. And then take out the lower frequencies. I'll make that shorter. I do want a few synths in here, so let's actually start with that. We can take this atmospheric stuff a little bit later. What I'm thinking is like an offbeat pluck with like strong mid-range. So generally for that, what you'll do is like this. Just have like two saws in there. And then something like that. Cool trick you can do is offset this phase by 90 degrees, which what that will do is it will have this click kind of sit here and there in the waveform. And it gives this cool kind of semi-octave vibe, right? So then let's draw in our own curve here. Gonna go for like an almost, it's like a foldback, but like stronger. So this will go like here. And then we'll do this. And the difference is gonna come in with like this being lower than this, right? I want this to have strong attack. Therefore I'm going to add an extra pluck component to it, like this. I do feel like it's still not strong enough. So I'm going to maybe no reverb. We'll give it a retrigger. Something like this is cool. Give it a bit more dimension. Okay. Let's see what happens if we place this here. So it also acts like a little bit of like a fill element. And then I want a long, slow delay on this. So I'm going to go 1/4 dotted. Want to add another like that, and reverb. It's not the kind of reverb that I'm looking for. Let's see if the Convolution Pro works on this one. That's what I'm after. Another trick we can do is add a little bit of Redux on that. Let's duplicate this over a few times. Now I want this to saturate a little bit more. Now obviously that's way too loud, so I'm going to give this -14. I almost feel like the transient shaper is a little bit overdone. Maybe something like this. right here, I'm thinking no offbeat thing here. So that this part has a lot of impact, right? Okay. Say that we take that. What we could add is some strong FM sounds here. So let's take the 77 tone, which I like. Let's give it a bit of asymmetry like that, and then I'm going to copy it over. Okay, so the compressor is not doing what I wanted to do. Let's see if the OTT has a nicer click to it. My lights just went out. Okay, I don't think you guys can see it, but I got like one of those LED strips like lined around my computer, which goes red, and that makes my camera look better. Like, it's a subtle thing, but it warms up like me, right? So that's strange. It just kind of goes out again. I don't know if that's because it's laying against something, maybe. My desk is a mess, so that might be a reason. The batteries are brand new, so I don't think that's the issue. If that is the case, then these batteries drain extremely fast. Okay, so obviously that's too loud. Yeah, they just go out. I don't know how big of a difference that's going to make if it actually shows up. What happens if I rendered this and then reverse it? I was just going for like a clicky, quick synth maybe. But maybe just reversing this would be a cool idea. Because it does have that click, right? Say that I take this and just like reverse it. That's kind of cool. Maybe this isn't the right spot for it. Maybe we should like put it here. This is very cool. I do kind of like that. What I want is maybe have that sound right here as well. I'm kind of tempted to maybe go first for this bit and just like finish off this area. As you can see, we already have a lot of synths here. One of the things I probably should include is this thing, because that's a pretty strong theme for like our track, right? Maybe that sounds a little bit out of place with that thing. My problem is, if I place it here and here, then it would be logical that it's also here. Or we also don't have it in this bit. We just ignore this whole thing, which means that we need more one-shots to make for this part, right? Okay. What I'm quickly going to do is this. I'm going to set all of those to the macros. 1, 1, 1, 1, and for the pitch I don't need those, so I'm going to unassign them. What we should be able to do with this is make like a lead thing that kind of pitches down, and we should be able to like make kind of like growls in there. Going to fix the sound as well. Give the like pull off the effects, right? And I set this to maybe like, let's go for an octave. You can like pitch down. Have it like that. I'm going to copy over the effects, and we'll probably play around with these like this. Let's turn its volume down towards the end here. Let's say even lower, so that we get to -12 here. So once we have this build up complete, then this might be a nice way to like slow it down as a fill. I'm actually thinking of doing something very similar to Deep Jungle Walk, where he also uses it as a like follow-up lead. So in that case, I want to take all of this and see if we can turn that into a lead maybe. This is just an experiment right now. Might be a bit too strong in terms of the modulation that we have now. Of course it's like this. Remove more mid-range from that. Maybe it is a cool idea to kind of overlap the leads right here. Just have it go like that, and then go back up here. And we'll like have it go down here. Maybe it's cool to, towards the end here, just go up. Something like this maybe. I feel like we're lacking a bit of power throughout this part of the track. Like if I compare it to here. It might be my percussions that are feeling off for me. I don't know though. Oh. I don't want that. Make a slight bit of space here. I'm lacking a little bit of creativity right now for this project. Maybe in general. Don't really know where to take it. Which, to be honest, is a problem that I have quite often. Like, I'm in the part of the production where what I really need is vocals, right? So vocals in here, the idea that I had here, vocals in this part, vocals in the intro. yeah, basically vocals everywhere is what I need. So finding vocals and doing vocal stuff on stream is kind of dangerous because of content ID and the copyright system. So I'm not looking forward to doing that. Like I cannot do that without turning off the stream, basically, because I don't want to stream me looking for vocals. So either I need to do something different, or I need to get some creativity boost from somewhere and like find an idea or a sound that just makes this track. And working on one-shots is not going to do that for me. So either maybe I work on the intro, maybe I work on some more synths, like main synths, because I'm not entirely happy with this. How old am I? I'm 25. What happens if I... Why does this not have a lot of high end? It's because of the... Because of the fact that we have filters in here, right? Let's do it like this. One of the things that is now bugging me is the fact that this one just kind of repeats the same thing. What if I do it like this? Just make this note longer for every 8 bars. Let's sidechain this a bit. Maybe, seeing as this is the first bit where we add this, we can go like low pass here. Have it like come in low pass, right? This. And that then opens it up. I do like that. It's a lot more rhythmical. and a lot more danceable. Okay, so I think it's a good idea, even though I didn't have that in mind when I wrote out the structure, is to wait. Oh, okay. There's a lot of like automation points there. That's not a good idea. I think it might be a good idea to do a little bit of a high pass here on the kick and bass, like towards this bit here. So I'm going to go like 70. Even though that does not fit the structure that I created, it might be cool to just do it. This is gonna go -3 then. Done, thank you. Maybe the stereo a little bit lower on this reverb. I feel like it loses power. Obviously we turned it down so that it fits this part, but if we turn this up, we can just turn this down by like 6 dB. Now I'm pretty hyped about this synth here. I do like how that sounds. I'll duplicate this thing one more time. But I don't really know what to do with this part here, because technically we're going to go down in energy. But it only really needs to happen like here. And this has a pretty strong impact, right? Okay, I think that can work if we lower its volume right here. Something like this. I think that works. I'm just not sure about the sound. Like, is this the sound that I want to be the main element for this part of the track? And if so, how am I going to complement it? Because it's not the kind of sound that you easily put one-shots against, right? It's like this very... how would you say, it is a rich texture because of the reverb and everything, so you want those details to come through. But you also, like, if I put like this thing here, I don't think this is going to sound the greatest. Right, to me those don't sound like they belong together. Even if I maybe make it a bit more stereo. You could try maybe this one. Again, it doesn't really complement the sound that we have there. So as I said, I'm going to go for vocals here, in this bit. I also wanted to check. Yeah, there is a high pass there. I don't think I want that. Going to remove that. I just want this to continue on. Up until that part. What we could try is have this ARP come in. Okay. Ooh, there's a lot of automation to change here. Let me see how. Okay, we don't want any reverb here yet. This frequency 8 should probably go up here. Maybe then at this point, if we put the ARP in here, let's put then this back to 0 and turn this down. Oh yeah, I wanted this to come in. Just going to play with these macros, see what happens. Let's see what happens if we give this. Oh, I can play with that. Just have that turn up like here. Maybe it's just a good idea to give it a boost here. I'm almost thinking of like adding this sound to it as well. Let's give this a bit of a boost. I'm gonna throw this on its own track so that we can EQ out the low end. So I'm just gonna do like this. Maybe these percentages should be a little bit lower. Maybe it's a good idea to turn this into more of an atmospheric drop, which wouldn't make much sense with the drums that we have now. So for the drums, I might just go full energy here, and that means that our M dynamics, if we're going to like enable it, we should, why is that still on? We should have it like this then, because this is then the full. That also kind of makes sense a lot with the synths that we have right now. I'm probably going to mess with this fill element. Like, it sits better in the other one. Maybe this is a place for the robotic vocal from that build-up. So here, right?
Now let's begin.
Probably like this.
Now let's begin.
This has kind of a strange.
Now let's begin. Now let's begin. Now let's begin. Now let's begin. Now let's begin.
Yeah, I feel like it needs
Let's begin.
a pretty strong EQ curve here for it to be audible to hear what he's like saying.
Now let's begin.
That does kind of have the power that I'm looking for. Okay, I'm not a fan of the ARP there. What if I just do it again? The same synth. But instead of doing the high pass thing we did, we'll leave that alone. And then towards the end here, this is just going to go into delay. delay reverb like combo. Which means that the whole drop is basically going to be one synth. Which I mean, it's not a bad idea. It's not a big deal. It also means that we could potentially bring back the drums like we had before. So here it's gonna go on and there it's gonna go off.
Now let's begin.
Then I'm gonna go all the way around maybe. Unless we're missing something here then. And then maybe it's still a better idea to have the high pass towards the end, not here. Which means we move this here. I guess we can make it a little less steep so it actually does something. Transition is a bit rough, but that is sounding a lot better. Right now this is a bit of a tough project here, I would say. We're lacking the vocals to actually finish off the whole track. Right? So in terms for the stream today, I think I'll probably end it here. And then we'll work on it. I'm hoping to establish a schedule of doing a stream at least every Sunday. Because this is just nice and chill.
That the world that we live in is not the real world.
But maybe in the week I have some more time, like an afternoon.
That somehow we are hallucinating.
I'm spending a lot of time on the album, as you can imagine. Doing mixes, doing music videos, stuff like that. So I'm going to end the stream here. I'll just play this last drop and then I'll finish. And I'm going to work on probably music videos tonight. Apart from the volumes, I would say that the overall structure and the overall sounds that I have in that second drop,
Now let's begin.
they just work a lot better because I didn't rush like the structure. New chair? No. Chair is the same. It's the IKEA $100 gaming chair or €100 gaming chair. The background, this is different. That's what you're seeing. I got tired of making my room every time I had to stream or record, so now I can just leave everything on my bed Even though I'm not 100% happy with how the art is sitting in the mix right now, or is like sound design, like it feels like it lacks some high end. I do feel like the second or this drop is just much more like worked out than whatever I was doing here, even though I'm happy with this synth now. So I feel like I'm lacking a little bit of creativity. So unfortunately that's just an end for me. Also, it's been 3 hours, so it's not like I'm cutting it short. I just wanted to do a little bit more work on the track, but if I'm not feeling it, then I'm not going to force myself. Either way, this is going to be the stream. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next stream. That's going to be either Sunday or before that. I'm going to try to make Sunday just like a regular stream day for me, because I think it's a cool way to interact with you guys. You guys seem to like it as well. Apart from every once in a while getting a message that's advertising virtual girls, everybody seems to behave very well in chat. So yeah, see you guys in the next one.